Welcome back. Now, of course, earlier this month, President Barack Obama, he called us all out. He said that some black men aren't feeling having a woman president. Let's roll the clip, and we will discuss it on the other side.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Okay, we are here now with Tennessee State Representative Justin J. Pearson, Ben Crump, and Michael Ealy. So they're joining us on the panel. Okay. As a nation, we've never had a female leader, never. Right. So there is an unspoken idea that a lot of people have, whether they say it out loud or not. So what was your impression?
Look, I love President Obama. And I think we got to be honest in our own community about the reality of sexism and the role that patriarchy plays in our own community. Sure. I go to churches a lot, and there are people who will greet me and not greet my fiance, who's standing right next to me. So there's a real conversation we need to have about what is going on inside of our communities and what we can do to make sure that we unlearn some of the behaviors that are really negative, and that are really harmful. What is also really important is that we do understand the facts. An overwhelming majority of black men are voting for Vice President Kamala Harris to be President of the United States. Right? 80% of us. So, you know, the truth is, you got that one uncle that you need to talk to. But the majority of us, we good. Right? Like, we on the same page. But there is some work that we are going to have to do as a community to figure out what are the qualms, what are the issues, what are the problems that 20% or so of black folks who a few years ago were voting Democratic and all that are having. And I will say this about Donald. In our country, our socialization has taught us to praise people with a lot of money. Our socialization has taught us to praise people who are famous. Our socialization has taught us to praise people who can get a lot of women and can say what they want and do what they want and have said, hey, that's the image of a real man. That's the image of a strong person. That's the image of a real leader who can just fire people at will. Now he's running for president. And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it anymore. But years of socialization have taught us that actually that is the image that America has put forward as the image of what you want to be, of the person that you want to lead. So it isn't just a black issue. We got a nationwide issue about the perception of hypermasculinity masquerading as leadership, when in fact it was our mamas and our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas who got us here.
Well, I tell you, I'm telling you, and the fro, baby.
And the fro, baby.
You know what's always interesting? We hear about the polls, and one of the things I know for sure, the quickest way to make a black man lie to you is walk up to him and ask him a question with a clipboard in your hand. So, I mean, it's ridiculous, and what I refuse to do is to let, you know, mainstream polling operations tell me what men I'm with every day think. It's I refuse to believe that.
Hey, you know what's big deal? You know, we talked the NAACP and Urban League, Reverend Al, and them a lot. Isn't it just profound at this moment in time that black men votes are coveted so much? I mean, I've never seen that in my life. And I think that's something, when I saw that Obama piece, I thought about how everybody is trying to get our vote.
But power concedes nothing without a demand. And I honestly believe this is one of the first time nationally, collectively, we decided, we want to hear you, but there are things we have to have for that. It's transactional, which politics is supposed to be, right? What was your reaction when you heard President Obama say that?
Well, there are some men who don't want to vote for a woman. The founders of Project 2025 really don't want a woman as president. And their women don't want a woman as president. That is not being held to the same standard. If, in fact, you are one of those individuals who believe that a woman should not be president, speak on it. So, like, if you're masking your sexism with, you know, well, you know, she locked up a whole bunch of black men. Well, that's already been debunked. So what is it? Or she's not black. So what is it? What is it that's really, just speak on it.